This will be a series about the Star Wars episodes 7 to 9, just because no one has spoken about it in the last years.
Liar!
Got me. Hi, I'm Al, and this episode is about the first part of the sequel Star Wars trilogy, The Force Awakens. From here on, spoilers may happen, so be warned. As always, all of the following is just my opinion. In 2015, when the sequel to the original trilogy was dated to come out, fans were going wild. And sure, one can meet everyone's expectations, but in the end, it satisfied both fans and critics. J.J. Abrams had done his job well, but there are some things that split the community up to this day. Part 1. The Déjà Vu Mysterium. Many parts of The Force Awakens resemble the first ever made Star Wars movie, A New Hope. Both movies start out on a desert planet. In one movie it's Tatooine, in the other it's Jakku. Both planets are inhospitable and inhabited by strange creatures. Point 2. In each movie we have a chosen character type who has no clue who he is. This character goes on a hero's journey, and both heroes are revealed to be the children of a galactic villain in the end. Once it is Luke, and in The Force Awakens, it's Rey. And who could have guessed it? In both movies, there is a giant space station. In the first Star Wars movie, it's your friendly neighborhood Death Star, a space station that can destroy just one planet, just imagine. But just because bigger is better, nearly always. The First Order took in The Force Awakens the planet Ilum, hollowed it out like a pumpkin on Halloween and stuffed a giant energy gun inside, capable of destroying multiple planets at once. And yeah, the battery of this giant laser gun was a nearby star. No kidding. Next point is the little droid. Everyone knows R2-D2 and his legendary beep sounds. But The Force Awakens needed a cool droid too, and so here he is, BB-8, the soccer ball with a head. Not as iconic as R2-D2, but he has some funny scenes. But not alone that. In both movies we have sinister, mask-wearing evildoers who are wielding the Force. Darth Vader is one of the darkest and iconic villains ever told about in pop culture. He wears his mask of health reasons, but hey, even his breathing is iconic. And who can say that from himself? In The Force Awakens, the man with the mask is Kylo Ren. He is the son of Han Solo and Leia Organa, who later turned to the dark side. Not Leia. Kylo turned to the dark side. Different from his grandfather, he wears his mask for fashion reasons and for reasons of being especially dark. But these masked men had even darker men in the background. Darth Vader has Palpatine and Kylo had Supreme Leader Snoke, but in the end, the most of us know Snoke was just a clone of Darth Palpatine, so technically Palpatine was the master of Darth Vader and Kylo Ren too. And the list goes on and on. There are places like cantinas, for example, that look quite familiar. So is this too much resemblance?
That's just lazy writing.
Let's just say creativity is never out of place, but I think it is okay for this time. But this universe just can't take another mythical hero on a desert planet. I should shut my trap. Let's take a look at the characters. I have to confess, I liked Rey from the first moment on. But later in the movies she reveals frequently her Rey problem. Wanna hear an example? When Kylo Ren captures her, she can use the Jedi mind trick on the guard, and no one trained her. In fact, she didn't even know that there was a Jedi mind trick. That's strange. Furthermore, she can augment the tech of the Millennium Falcon and make it better. And she can beat Kylo Ren with a lightsaber in the final fight in this movie, and no one has trained her. Kylo Ren, on the other hand, was trained by Luke Skywalker and Snoke. So I fear it's true. She is overpowered compared to Luke. Yes, Luke made his 1 in a million shot, but in The Empire Strikes Back, he got kicked. Big time. Only in Return of the Jedi, he had his Jedi powers under his full control. Rey didn't stumble. She just ran. And that's a problem. Kylo Ren is a very interesting antagonist. His reason for turning to the dark side isn't revealed in The Force Awakens, and he kills people left and right. Also, he is hot-tempered and destroys everything around him when something is not working out in his ways. But his inner conflict is always visible, even after he killed his father Han Solo. And his unique lightsaber is badass cool. The flickering red energy blade resembles his conflict. Finn has a great start. The idea that not every stormtrooper is doomed to be evil is a nice idea. Sadly, the second movie has not done too much good with him. The last of the new characters is Poe Dameron, leader of the X-Wings and a hot-headed pilot. He is nice, but to be true, his storyline is not too deep. With Han Solo, I have mixed feelings. It was like, hooray, Han Solo is back after 40 years of waiting and he's dead. Yeah, it was a strong and dark moment when his son killed him. At least there were a nice moment with Leia. And seeing Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher together was a nice sight. And Chewbacca, what to say about Chewbacca? It's just Chewie being Chewie. Yes, that's it. General Hux and Snoke were built up to be menacing villains, only to be deconstructed by Darth Johnson in The Last Jedi. And it's the same thing with Captain Phasma. The shiny stormtrooper was seen all over the early trailers, but the character stays flat and we never get to see that the warrior is played by the gorgeous Gwendolyn Christie. They confess they have a planet killer problem. Is the First Order that dumb? In the first movie, a small bunch of fighters was sufficient to destroy your friendly neighborhood Death Star, and this time again? Okay, they planted bombs too, but how did they even get there? This planet was guarded by Star Destroyers. Or wasn't it? Did they learn anything from the Empire? Despite many problems, The Force Awakens was a promising start for the trilogy, and it would have been great if the others would have had this consistency.
By the way, maybe you're interested in my other stuff. Leave a like here, hit the bell, be smart, stay well, and I am L.